Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
And I'm Sammie Roffman.
And I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's time to party!
We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly. Today's episode was recorded on December 8th, 2025.
Yes, it is. Party people. You know, shit. I know shit's bad right now, but I got a solution, and it's time to party. That is right. And if you get that reference, you know that we are talking about Idiocracy, Mike Judge's 2006 cult classic. Still feels weird thinking that this movie is going to be 20 years old in 2026. What the absolute fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
When did
Does
it
your
come out?
listeners know that you record them all at once? Because I need you to know why I'm laughing so hard every time that music cue starts.
Please tell them.
Because this is now the second time I have heard it, and each time it becomes more surprising. And so I've been cracking up. So I don't want you to think that I just laugh. That's why I'm laughing. I can't wait to hear it the third time.
We can send you
And
home
the
with your
voice-
very own MP3 of it.
Please.
Exactly.
Please.
The voice you are hearing is the magnificent Sammie Roffman, joining us from the Bloody Disgusting Podcast Network.
Ooh.
Is it weird that you're not talking about horror this time?
It's very strange. I mean, on the Lady Killers, we definitely have broadened that. Like we talk about feminine rage as a whole, so it's not just horror. We just covered Fargo, so the episode will be out here by the time this is out. And technically, she's not a lady killer, but she does shoot. It's just not to kill.
Yeah.
We've broadened that, so we don't just do women who kill. It's just feminine rage as a whole. And then over on the Losers Club, we don't always, because like Stephen King's not always horror, so we definitely do like have some episodes that are, you know, like The Shawshank Redemption or like Stand By Me, stuff like that. But for the most part, that's all I really do all day, every day. I mean, I live in a tomb of horror, so it's nice to kind of talk, even though there's an argument to be made that this is a horror movie. So actually,
slow developing horror movie. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe
the long
maybe I
game.
am talking about horror today.
Yes, listeners, if you weren't paying attention, we're talking about Idiocracy this month. If you don't know anything about this movie, our friends at Letterboxd tell us this. To test its top secret human hibernation project, the Pentagon picks the most average American it can find, an army private and a prostitute, and sends them to the year 2505 after a series of freak events. But when they arrive, they find a civilization so dumbed down that they're the smartest people around. Ooh. Sammie, we touched on this in the first episode, and you brought us some amazing picks, but this movie you picked as to honor your dad, right?
I did. Yes. I thought it would be a nice way to do that until I watched the movie again. And I thought, maybe this isn't as funny as we thought it was 20 years ago. And perhaps his feelings would change now. But, you know, I still thought it would be a nice thing to do.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate it. Yeah.
And you know, when you told me about that, I was thinking, I'm like, did they go to the theater to go see this movie? But then it's like, no one went to the theater to see this movie. No one did.
They completely bombed like any marketing for this movie. And I think it was supposed to have been like a straight to video up to the studio, but Mike Judge had it in his contract that they did have to do a theatrical release. Even though I find it very strange that they were selling Brondo. Like they had a site for you like to buy Brondo, which is like, if you didn't market the movie at all, why are you going to create an entire website to market the fake drink from the movie? But no, we didn't see this in theaters. My dad and I were king and princess of sitting on the couch and eating Oreos and getting stoned together. Although I was not getting stoned when I was 12, when I was older. Although actually it was only a couple years later, so I'm not that far off. So this was, as I like said on the last episode, we just had a shit ton of DVDs because my dad lived up the hill in Northern California. So we were kind of close to like Colfax, if you're familiar with that area. And we had little to no service like for anything. So we didn't really have a dish or anything like that. Or we did, it would just go out constantly. And so whatever DVDs we had were what we had. And this was one of them. And I vividly remember the artwork on the front, the Leonardo da Vinci artwork of our titular character, even though he isn't the idiot of the movie. But yeah, I've watched this one a couple of times now. I would say more in my youth, but as an adult, I think this is only like my 4th time watching it since I was 12. So it's a little different.
Yeah. I used to go to Blockbuster frequently, as I'm sure many people of our
one of my first
generation
jobs.
did.
Really?
Oh, they wouldn't hire me.
Yeah.
I applied and they did not take me.
Oh, I got hired because the manager used to come into my Starbucks and he would listen to me talk about movies to my coworkers because that's all I ever talked about. And I didn't even know that he would like pick up. And like one day he came in and was like, "Would you like to work at Blockbuster?" And I was like, "You bet your fucking ass I do." I get free rentals and I have no late fees. But then I had to start selling Dish because then Dish bought them. And I was like, this is a little much for me. But yeah.
I think they didn't want to, I think my local Blockbuster didn't want to employ one of the vagrants that was hanging out front of their store and skateboarding all the time. So, I mean, I
they realized that if they gave you a job, they'd lose all of the profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, I found Idiocracy in the previously viewed bin in Blockbuster because, like, as a fan,
so it was used. You got a used DVD.
Exactly. And like, I didn't even get the cool cover that you got. Mine was just the poster of Luke Wilson being like,
looking up.
But you know, when the movie came out in 2006, I was just like, oh, satire. I need to have this movie in my life. And then little did I know that it would become a reality a couple decades later. Ansel, what is your experience with Idiocracy?
I am fairly certain that I watched this movie right after it came out. I'm pretty sure that what we got was a pirated copy of this in my fraternity house at college, and we watched it on the the like big common room screen, and I'm pretty sure we watched this one shortly after it came out.
Were you Mike Judge fans, like either of you, like super familiar with his work? Because I wasn't. Like, Daria's the only, like, I never watched King of the Hill or Beavis and Butthead as a kid, but I loved Daria, and so that was really my entry point for him. So I was wondering where you guys came in on him. Yeah,
I also was a huge Daria fan, but I did watch a little bit of Beavis and Butthead growing up because it was just like goofy, like you know, it seemed like the natural progression after Ren and Stimpy.
So, and it's MTV, so it's cool kid. You know, like anytime I had Daria on, I always felt like I was way older and cooler than everyone else.
For me, like, no, not at all. I saw Office Space after this, in fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It was just always on Comedy Central. So I feel like I have come into like that shenanigans scene 50 million times throughout my life. Because it was just like, you know, when Comedy Central got like the rights to a movie and that's what they were playing every day. So I would get home from school and it would always be on that scene. And so I think I talked about vocal sims on the last episode, or it might have been off mic, but shenanigans became one because of that movie.
Good. Yeah. It's a good word.
I went to an all boys Catholic high school, and my friend.
That is surprising to me. Yep. I did not know that.
I am also not Catholic.
Mike went to an all-Catholic school, too, and he's not either, so it's funny.
If you weren't to start with, you wouldn't be afterward, that's for sure.
No, my mom certainly wasn't, so I get
it. But I had a friend who sounded like Diedrich Bader, so he would just quote Office Space all the time.
Oh, that's
like,
great.
Hey, Peter.
Like in the era of quoting movies. It's like when Step Brothers came out, and everyone quoted. You know, like, I wonder if the kids do that these days. Now they quote YouTube videos.
I like really obscure YouTube videos.
Yeah. Like, I hear some of the shit that comes out of there. Like, I hate to sound like old man yelling at clouds, but boy, do I as of late. Like, I was in Target. We were in Target yesterday looking at toys and shit. and they have a Skibbity toilet toy. And I was like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, again, if we're trying to avoid the fate of this movie, please don't buy your children Skibbity toilet toys. Please. This is a
toilet
PSA.
might be where it goes.
It's where I draw the line, I think.
I try to think of myself as someone who's fairly open-minded to the youths, you know, even if I don't participate, I can be like, that's
hey, fellow kids,
a thing that you're into now, and I can respect that. 6, 7. That has shown me how old I am.
And they don't understand it either. That's the thing. Is like when I try to ask a child to describe it to me, they can't. So it's like I know that it's just gobbledygook. And I have like, I do not want children. I am child, and I have nieces, and so whenever I go up to visit, I'm like, I get to get a peek into what the kids are like these days. And sometimes they're all right, and sometimes they're not.
Rental
Our
children,
good friend, the Grinch, has given the best way to disarm 6, 7.
That video, I saw it because he's actually great. Also, another PSA to go to meet the Grinch. I waited an hour last year. Well worth it.
Well worth it, especially now that he's meeting with Max. Like
he didn't do the meet and greet with Max, but Max was available to meet.
Got it.
And they changed the dog though, right as I got to the front of the line, and the other dog looked way more screen accurate. So I was a little bummed. It's the little things like that, you know. It wasn't a screen accurate Max. But I went for my birthday last year, and he made me kiss an onion, and it was really cool.
Amazing.
Nice.
So when a kid goes up to the Grinch, they do the 6, 7 thing, and then he says 8, 9.
Ooh, yeah, get him with his furry little claws.
There you go.
I love it.
That's
And the kid just shut up, and he was just like, wow, that's actually really good.
It's like Dak Shepard in this movie. Like, just like, oh, like, that's it. You can respond with that, you know?
I also want to make clear, I did make a joke about Dak Shepard being a trash heap. But I think
that's fair.
He's very good in this movie. Like,
I mean, I don't think it's far off. I don't think is it being good if it's not like that far off from maybe who you are as a person.
He's the
I think
correct
they
actor
slapped
for the
those
role.
fake teeth
That does not,
on him. I also did notice that it's a toilet that he is. I don't remember noticing that as a kid. And now that I've seen Wall-E a million times too, I was like, they're very good double feature. Wall-E and Idiocracy is a good double feature.
That would be, yeah.
Because, you know, you get the bright, shiny ending with Wall-E, but then over here, it's like, this is actually how it's going to be.
Yeah. This is best case scenario over here.
Wall-E is probably the one you watch second, just to give you a little bit of hope.
After you've watched a scary movie and you need like a little something to take the edge off, it's kind of like that.
9 times out of 10, the thing to get the edge off after watching something heavy or scary or whatever, for me, is the Golden Girls.
Oh, that's a good.
Just putting it out there. You know, a quick little 30-minute, you know.
Those are my favorites.
Nice.
That's why I've seen The Office a gajillion times. It's like not even because I enjoy it at this point. It's like it's almost like a white noise machine. It like lulls me to calmness because it's a show I've watched a million times.
Yeah, you know, The Office and Friends are the ultimate white noise machines because white people love them.
They really do. And as a white people, I can confirm. I really can. We're rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm for the millionth time. It's one of Mike's favorite because he is Larry David. It's so accurate. It's insane. But like we've had it on for like hours at a time and I never get sick of it. And I'm like, gosh, I am just a stereotypical white person. Give me my 20-minute NBC
it's
shows.
Okay.
I am very aware of it. Yes.
So, you know, speaking of Dak Shepard, we talked about Maya Rudolph in the last episode, and obviously Luke Wilson, star of the movie. But there are so many other actors in this movie that I was just like, what the fuck? They're in this? Like, sure, Terry Crews is big in there, but like Stephen Root and Justin Long pop up, and I'm like, are you serious?
I think they're both great too in this. They cracked me up. Like I love their line deliveries. I totally forgot about Justin Long. Like that was the one that really surprised me. I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot he was in this movie. And it works because it's right around. Did you guys ever seen Strange Wilderness?
Yes.
The one with Steve Zahn, and like the big screen grab is like Justin Long with the eyes painted over his eyes so he can sleep. Because it's like right around that era of Justin Long.
Okay.
That was right when I was discovering him. Like when Without a Paddle came out, if you've ever seen that.
Sure,
like
sure.
That.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. The or like early aughts comedies.
The Finding Yourself era of Justin Long.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Like pretty much right up until Accepted, you know, like when.
Although I have seen that movie more times than I'd care to admit, because I say "ask me about my wiener" a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just, and it's the way he says it. It's the "ask me about my wiener." It's so good. It's so good.
This is an audio only podcast, but we just both at the same time did the hand gesture,
and
I really love that.
We both did the finger jiggle. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But like for Stephen Root's character, especially after watching Barry, I'm just like, man, Stephen Root is so good.
Yeah.
But like in my head, it was just like I'm just a simple Southern lawyer, except he's a judge now. I don't know why.
Honestly, like, you know the judge scene in Mr. Toad's Wild Ride?
Yes.
That's like what the imagery reminded me of, like when he's over the big podium. Of course, I can find any way to relate anything to Disney. And that was that's what I was reminded of during that scene. But I love Dodgeball. That's one of my favorite movies. And speaking of Justin Long, and that was, I think, probably the first time I ever saw him in anything was Dodgeball. Yeah. L for Love.
Man, I feel like, I don't know, will I be disappointed if I rewatch Dodgeball now?
I watch it. It's a hotel movie because it's always playing on hotels. I've caught it several times since my youth in a hotel, and it is still a laugh riot. So it's same with like when Ben Stiller does this character like in Heavyweights, it's just, it's too good. It's so good. I love seeing him play an asshole, and it's great. It still hits. I highly suggest it.
Oh my God. Heavyweights. I love Heavyweights so much.
Me too.
Quick shout out to friend of the pod, BJ Colangelo, because of her incredible Heavyweights tattoo that we brainstormed together while watching Heavyweights one day. It was so good.
How
she
cool.
has
I would love
Pez
to see
dispenser.
that tattoo.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
You should introduce Sammie
dispenser.
to BJ for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, you guys would get along great.
I think she writes she's definitely written for Bloody. I have definitely seen her articles come out. And I think she writes for Dread Central.
Fangoria.
Okay, all the horror umbrella, you know. I've definitely seen her name on art. I've read a bunch of her articles before, so I can attest to her writing.
She's also written a great book with her wife, Harmony, about sleepaway camp, which I highly recommend everyone go pick up.
Hey.
I'm just going to, tell everyone all the time to buy my friend's stuff because it's all great.
As you should.
Hey, that's a good bud. Yeah.
And hey, with California traffic, you only live 4 hours from each other.
Yeah, that's true.
It's great.
Yes.
Let's make a date.
I have a note here that I wanted to share. Because the insinuation that Idiocracy gives that pro wrestling is less civilized is both very insulting and very true. As a huge fan of professional wrestling, I will admit.
I was WWF was like my favorite thing in the world as a kid. And for my 6th birthday, my dad took me to Arco Arena up in Sacramento to see WWF.
Oh my God.
And my hometown is a town called Rockland. And I had this huge sign that was bigger than me that said "The Rock has come to Rockland," because The Rock was my favorite. So yes, I can also attest to it, but they're not wrong either. You know what I mean? Like having been to one, but it's an art. Okay, because it is choreographed and it is really hard to do, and the acting and everything. It is essentially professional theater, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah. It is in the round. It is very story and character driven. Also, I did exactly one day of pro wrestling training, and it sucks falling on that mat.
I'm sure it sounds hard and it looks hard. Those chairs also they hit you every once in a while, I'm sure. So I couldn't handle it.
I propose to
China
you
fan
that wrestling is our generation's opera.
Yeah. You know what?
Totally.
I like that.
I
highly
also
specialized
like that.
skills, over the top storylines, completely ridiculous and fun for that reason.
it's like a soap opera, you know. But like some cool makeup and costumes. Who wouldn't like that? Like, I love costumes.
Enormous scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you love reality shows and Drag Race, like, you got to check out pro wrestling.
Yes,
like,
I absolutely concur.
It's too bad that we don't live in the same place anymore, Sammie, because I would totally take you to a wrestling show. There's a lot of good wrestling in Southern California.
And I have no one here that I have met that would be willing to do that. So thank you for that offer. Maybe when you come to visit next,
Absolutely.
We'll figure that out.
So, things that don't hold up very well about Idiocracy, but
should
maybe
we talk a little bit about the movie itself?
Yeah, maybe. I guess so.
Like, how do we feel about the characters? I mean, granted, they're all, aside from Luke Wilson, they're all giant caricatures.
Yeah, and even he is. Okay, so like I think Luke Wilson in general is a caricature of himself. Like we do that like the Mike and I do the Family Stone commercial comes up on our ads a lot, and in the preview he's like, you got to let your freak flag fly. And so that is like something that we say all, like Mike can actually do a very good Luke Wilson impression. I will give him that. And he has to go through me to get impressions improved because he tries to do a Danny DeVito one and it's really bad, and I have to tell him every time, I'm like, stop doing that, it's not good. But his Luke Wilson is very good. And so every time we watch something with him in it, like Old School is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie unironically. Like I used to fall asleep to it all the time, that the menu that like would start over and over every time. So that is just something that's echoed throughout my childhood. And so has his voice, you know, whether it's him or his brother, because they have such similar voices, you know, ka-chow. So I've been hearing those voices for my entire life. So it's hard not to become like a Clint Eastwood or like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, where like their voices become who they are, kind of, you know, ready to be like parodied on Family Guy type of voice. So that's always what I think of when I think of Luke Wilson. Poor guy hasn't had like a really great role, I think, in a really long time. Like I would love to see his like full acting chops.
He's definitely the lesser Wilson for sure.
Yes. There are other brothers in this too. I think he's the guy that he's fighting during the monster truck rally. I think is their other
Beef
brother.
Supreme?
I think that is his other. From what I can remember when I was reading the trivia.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wow.
I was very stoned and it was
Andrew
late
Wilson
at night reading the
Beef
trivia,
Supreme.
so I could be okay. I was right. Ha. I'm not. I got a memory on me, so cool.
He's the older brother of both Owen and Luke, so he's the eldest of the three. Woof.
Okay.
Poor guy.
This is his only claim to fame, I feel like. So, but I mean, you know, could be worse.
True.
He was in Rushmore and the Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay, so he's
somewhere.
because Wes Anderson loves the Wilson brother. I mean Owen. So
he loves
that
a
makes
Wilson.
sense. That checks out. Yeah. Because Darjeeling Limited is so good. Okay, so I have seen Luke Wilson's acting chops, but that's like probably the only one I could think of. And Royal Tenenbaums. Okay, so he's been in good movies. Just he's been in a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, because it's just like, other than Royal Tenenbaums, I think Idiocracy does immediately come to mind when I think of him. And the fact that he's cast here as like the average Joe, quite literally, is such a good fit for him. I don't know, like who else during the 2000s was more average than Luke Wilson?
Vince Vaughn, I feel like, kind of was going for that type of average guy, like vibe, you know, with like, even, and like Favreau. I feel like when I think of, because I think of Swingers, so I think that's probably where my brain is going.
Yeah.
But I do think that's a good argument. Like he was the, you know, lead of a lot of comedies for us. So I think that's why but he's not Average Joe, because Average Joe's Dodgeball. That's why I think of Vince Vaughn, I think.
True.
Well,
that's the name of their team.
I think you're absolutely right, though, that is 1,000,000% Vince Vaughn's whole shtick is like, there's nothing special about me. If I'm in a movie, you can bet there's nothing special about my character. I'm here.
But I'm going to get the girl at the end.
Yeah. I'm going to come out okay, but nothing special over here. Even in the movie where he plays a super spy, he is the least special super spy.
Even in the movie where he plays Santa's brother, like he's, you know, he's the average brother.
The mundane brother.
Yeah. It's not a very good Christmas movie. But
although when he has to play a teenage girl on the run from a serial killer,
Freaky is incredible. So I will give him that.
His best performance.
And it's also a testament that I know all of his politics and yet could forget about it while I was watching Freaky, which isn't something I can usually do. I always remember at the end, but while I was watching it, I was it felt like I was watching OG Vince Vaughn again with having all of these preconceived notions, and he was really good in it too.
So
it's
good
really
in
funny.
It's wild to me how good some of these terrible people are at acting.
Yeah, I think that's par for the course as far as Hollywood goes.
It is the entire job to pretend to be a different person.
A good person. Yeah. Some of them have gotten alarmingly good at it.
Yeah, not everybody can be Christopher Reeves, who is just as good as his character.
Or you know what? Actually, I think David Cornsweet doesn't look like he's ever harmed a fly.
Cornsweet.
So if we're staying in mind with the Superman vibe,
you were talking to two early adopters of the Cornsweet.
Absolutely.
Oh, what brought you in? Was it Hollywood? That Ryan Murphy show, or what was?
No,
what got you?
He did a time travel movie.
Oh,
he did.
Which is titled what?
It's the greatest hits. It's on
I've
Hulu.
Never heard of that. Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
It's very sad, but
great.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Because when he got cast as Superman, we were both just like, I'm sorry, from this movie?
Greatest Hits guy?
That's our boy. Yeah.
The guy whose name we made fun of in our podcast? Well, shit.
Aww. And he's so good. I literally went to the Warner Brothers store just so I could pose with all of their dumb props and shit after that movie. And I was not into. I'm a Batman girl, so I did not think I was gonna like it, and I fucking loved it. So I think it's an argument for him.
Yes, I have gone on record many times saying how much I don't like Superman, but the fact that I loved his Superman
sucks.
Yeah, he does.
He has too many powers. When you play him on DC versus Mortal Kombat, you can't play anyone against him because he just gets you, and it's not fair. And I need a character that has something. And obviously, he has kryptonite. I know. Okay, I'm aware, but no one can just get their hands on kryptonite.
Do you want to know why kryptonite's a thing, though? Because it was not originally a thing.
Is it because of what I just said? He needed something to make him defeatable?
It was not a clever, we need to make this guy have a flaw. It was in the radio show days when Superman was a radio show. The actor who played Superman needed a week off. He was just I forget if he was sick or he had somewhere he had to be.
It's always something like that.
Yep. So they had another actor come in and play Superman for a while. And to explain why his voice sounded a little bit different, they gave him kryptonite poisoning.
I wonder if Bizarro Superman existed at this point, because why wouldn't you have just been it's Bizarro Superman?
I don't think Bizarro Superman was a thing yet. This was super early.
Thank God they gave him something, okay? Yeah. Because he needed a little wrench thrown in.
It's what a beautiful piece of
I love that.
Accidental
great trivia
writing. Yeah, big fan of the old radio serial.
I'm so glad that someone else is on the podcast for once that agrees with me about Superman.
I have been very anti-Superman my entire life. My husband loves Smallville, and I only started watching it because I love garbage CW shows. Okay, I watched a lot of their superhero shows, and because I was it was like the X-Files, because it's a lot of the same showrunners, and they get Monster of the Week episodes. So I was I'm sold. I'll watch it. But it wasn't because of Superman. It's never because of Superman.
Oh God! Now looking back, I remember watching Lois and Clark because I liked the non-Superman part of the Superman story. And now Dean Cain sucks.
Again, it all comes back to sometimes good actors don't think good things.
Bad people, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially the famous ones. Turns out a lot of them narcissists. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
It almost comes with the territory. I almost feel to get to any sort of fame, you almost have to be, a little obsessed with yourself. Not something I could ever. I'm the opposite of obsessed with myself, which is full of self-loathing. So I could never get there, I don't think.
Okay, so something else I wanted to talk about was the use of certain words in Idiocracy that were very jarring. That I forgot
I
that
blew
they were
my load
in
a
there.
little early and brought that up last episode. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
It
great.
was just like the first thing that I thought of, like, because when because it's said pretty early on, like they, they start throwing them out pretty early on.
Oh,
and at first my initial, human reaction is this didn't age well. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, actually, no, I think there's absolutely an argument to be made that this is aging well. And that says more about our society than it does, I think, about Mike Judge's writing at the time. I don't necessarily, I don't know, don't quote me on this because I haven't done my research into Mike Judge, but I feel like I would know at this point. I don't think he's super problematic in any way. So I fingers crossed, at least I would like to have that. But I don't think, I don't know. I think it was just the era, and he saw that we were using, like, he makes the idiots say these words, you know what I mean? So I do think that's fair, at least.
Yes.
So
that is kind of where I came out on it because, like, sure, it was common vernacular in the early 2000s to use the F slur or the R word. But, like, I think Mike Judge made the very specific choice to keep that in there to show that we shouldn't be doing it. So I mean, maybe I'm giving him too much credit for this, but I think it does kind of read like that. Even the one scientist guy who drops the N-word after talking about pimps,
he's a bad guy.
He's
they show
guy,
that he's
right.
a shitty guy. Like,
Yeah.
even like, and when Luke Wilson's character uses it at the end, it's to appeal to this audience that he knows is going to understand it. Like, because that's the thing is, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So he's not going to change this whole society's verbiage in 1 week, So I do think, I don't like it, but I think it's fair. And I maybe am making this so I feel better about the movie and I feel better about the person who created it. But just given what I see online on a pretty regular basis, it's coming, like, it went away. We weren't using these words for a while, and then it has come back with a vengeance online.
It is so disappointing to see some of that stuff come back.
the emboldenment.
Even in like memes that were like typical like accounts where I was like, why are all of a sudden you saying these words now? Now I can't engage with your content.
Yeah,
just kidding. Don't like you anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Gosh, but something has to be said for Mike Judge to be a pretty decent dude, for him to get over Hank Hill, who is like a traditionally conservative Texan, yet so many people love King of the Hill because it's almost like All in the Family, where Hank is like learning about
Roseanne,
being a better person. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. And we relate to that as a society. He knows how to, I feel like he knows how to talk to an audience. And I don't think he comes off as pretentious or superior thinking to me. I think he kind of calls them as I sees them types. And I appreciate that because that's just always how I've been, is that, like, just because they are lower income doesn't mean they're not intelligent or that they can't learn, or that people can't change. And I think he knew how to speak to a large population of people without making them feel dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it made them feel seen, and
yes, exactly.
And then enlarged their space. So yeah.
Well, there's like a really large argument online, which I wasn't aware of when I started doing research for this movie today, that like he's saying that it's like eugenics because he's saying that, stupid people make stupid people. And I don't think that's at all what the messaging is. I think it's more of like, when you don't give people the supplies to learn and like teach them how to read, and you're not going to teach your kids to how to read, So I don't think it's a genetic thing. I think it's a societal thing, and that it's a failure on our part, not on the genes that are being passed down, if that makes sense. Like, because I was kind of jarred at that argument, like, especially because it's such a unfortunate hot button issue right now. Miss Sydney Sweeney. So I was like, oh, I didn't at all take that impression from this movie. Am I wrong? Like, was that naive of me not to think that? But then as I started like looking into it a little bit more, I was like, no, he's saying that stupid people typically can't teach their kids not to be stupid, so it's and if teachers are stupid in this world and doctors are stupid in this world, there's no chance for a kid to learn, so in turn they're not going to be very bright.
Yeah,
I grew up in a part of the world where anti-intellectualism was rampant.
It was like, especially in the early aughts, it was stupid to be smart. Like, it was like, what are you going to read? And it's like, yeah, I am, because I like to be able to form sentences eventually.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember how hard it was to be the kid who liked to read on the bus.
Yeah, me too.
In small town Ohio. So this feels even more, and perhaps for you as well, NorCal, I know has pockets of that sort of.
Oh, it does. I'm not from it's a very red town, I guess is what I'll say. Like, the cities are just like in Illinois, just like in any major state. The cities are great. You go a little further off into the terrain, it's not so great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in a town that didn't have any street lights until I left. So,
oh wow,
yeah, very tall, very small.
Yeah,
and the mines matched it. So it was very.
My high school had one black student, and he was a French exchange student. So that was like how like we were like the Hicks. Our school, like we walked. I'm going to name drop. It's called Del Oro High School. It's in Loomis, and we literally walked in like dirt roads to our classrooms, and people wore cowboy boots and cowboy hats. I couldn't get out of there faster. Like the faster I get out of there, I literally, my junior year was like, I'm doing independent study and I am out. It was just not the place for growth. And there are a lot of places still like that, even more so than, 10 years ago when I was in high school.
Yeah.
It's definitely true to life, as we've been saying a lot in these last two episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about how, with Mike Judge being a pioneer of adult animation, thanks to Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, everyone always talks about how Simpsons and South Park predicted the future. But unfortunately, Idiocracy, I think, might be the thing that really, really nailed it. I mean, like, when you see President Camacho's White House, you see a large chunk of the White House missing. I'm like, is that the East Wing?
I know. It was that scene in particular was like, I was like, this is a GOP event. Like, we've seen, like, after the the whole Charlie Kirk thing, the celebrations that were put on by them literally looked like this. I was like, everything's so gaudy and like bright and gold, and like it really is like in so many ancient civilizations what it looks like before the fall of one is all I will say.
God, the giant necklaces that the cabinet is wearing.
Oh my God.
House of Representing. That's, that was...
The Extreme Court is the one I had forgotten about.
Like, also just like the people that they hired, like, for his cabinet, like where I was like, oh yeah, we would never, like, watching this in 2007, I'm like, we would never let anyone like this.
We certainly wouldn't pick the people who hate that thing the most be in charge of it.
Yes, or like people that are quite literally so underqualified, like that they should never be in the running for a job like this. Like, I was also thinking about how dirty everything looks, and I was like, oh yeah, that's probably because there are no health regulations, which, I don't know, is happening now, and we're getting food recalled every 2 days, and our airplanes are falling out of the sky, which makes me think of our pets' heads are falling off.
Just like seeing how the FCC and the FDA being bought by an energy drink company is like
not that far off.
That's not far off.
Plausible.
Fucking RFK is telling us to eat raw meat and milk right out the udder, dude. So I'm like, this is not that unbelievable for me. It also, like, Donald, he drinks like Coke and fillet of fish by the hundreds every day. So again, the chronic use of fast food is also really relevant here, because there's a lot of fast food getting catered to the White House, which isn't a sentence I thought I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
And I'm a McDonald's lover, okay? So that should say everything.
I mean, hey, no judgment on fast food, but as a president, you have a chef who can make whatever you want at any time of the day.
The grossest thing on any menu. He likes the fillet of fish. No one likes the fillet of fish.
Yeah.
I like that should be grounds for just permanent,
dismissal
like
from
right
any
straight
space.
to dismissal. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
If you were asked, what's your favorite meal at McDonald's, and you're like, oh, the Long John Silver's meal? No, like gross. I can't relate to you.
Have either of you ever worked a fast food job?
No,
I
I'm
worked at
terrible
Starbucks for almost 10 years, which I will say it was a drive-through. It's fast food.
Okay, but you didn't serve fish sandwiches.
The people are not very nice. No fish sandwiches.
From my time in the Burger King drive-through, let me assure you that the last thing you should ever order, unless it's Lent, is the fish. Do not order the fish sandwich.
Sorry, I struggle to order fish from places like a 4-star restaurant. You know what I mean? Like it's such a tricky thing. It's smelly, and I love Burger King because I love their toys, but and their chicken sandwiches are delectable.
They truly are.
But I really would never think to be like, and unless there was quite literally a gun to my head, I don't think I could order the fish at a fast food place.
The last time I ordered any kind of seafood at a fast food place was the fried shrimp from Red Hot Ranch in Chicago. And, I feel like since it's not like a major chain, I'm a little safer
I get
there.
the I love Panda Express, okay? Like
sure.
I'm it's shameful, okay? I know. There are plenty of so many great Chinese restaurants to eat at, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want some P Express. And I love their
Nothing wrong with that.
Their honey shrimp is really, really good. And I know that it's been frozen and probably sitting in a bag back there. I'm aware, but it just feels different than slapping on some tartar sauce onto a weird bun and calling it cool.
Yeah.
No, that's very true. Oh, man.
But also, that's the one that doesn't get changed over very often, and nobody ever orders it. So I can guarantee you that fillet of fish has been in that warming tray at least 2 or 3 times longer than it's supposed to.
Oh, no. Ooh. Oh, God. Yeah, no. Thank you for that. I mean, I wouldn't have ordered it anyways, but you have now really
you have a
stuck
reason.
it. Yeah, yes.
It's not just that it's gross. It's that it's gross.
It's that it is really gross. Yeah.
Speaking of really gross, I would like to point out that even though things are really shitty in the world of Idiocracy, they still don't rely on generative AI as heavily as we have come to.
Like she can still paint, and they're still giving, like, I'll take that. I will take that. Although if you're watching Pluribus at all, it's a new Apple show from Vince Gilligan. Yes. It is the most anti-AI thing I have ever, like, it is.
I love it.
But it'll send a chill down your spine. Just how relevant it is right now. Because I'm very adamantly anti-AI. If you need a fucking robot to tell you how to grocery shop, you need help.
God.
But what should I get at the grocery store? Like I don't know. What are you hungry for?
Probably
ask your
Brondo.
Intuition. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
One of the commercials that like pisses me off so much is like I'll get this ad for, I think it's Microsoft's AI, and be like, we only have an hour. What things should we see in this museum? Bitch, go ask someone.
Yeah.
There's a help
desk.
desk
my favorite
right there.
thing is to collect is pamphlets from places. I love a fucking pamphlet, and I love a map, and I want to open it, and I want to pretend like I'm Indiana Jones in your museum and find my shit for myself. Like I don't need I don't need a computer to play. Thank you. You get it. That's what we were talking earlier about what would be in our drawers in our homes. Infinite pamphlets in mine.
All the pamphlets.
From Star Wars night. I went to Star Wars night at Disneyland twice this last year, and I grabbed a pamphlet each time. And were they different? No. But I still wanted it.
Well, and let me tell you, as a former museum employee, you are robbing.
Man, you've worked everywhere.
I've had a weird life. You are robbing yourself of some amazing expertise by not talking to the people who work there. Because let me tell you, Nothing will make you a specialist like having to stand next to one dumb thing for 6 hours at a time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't care
and
what it
depending on your
is.
age, it might be a really nice conversation. Like when I find the cast members, I try to look for like the older the better. No offense to young people, you know, but like they tend to know, you know, because they've probably worked, they usually work there a long time, and they also will look you in the eye and greet you.
I also love that you called them cast members.
Because that's what they are. All right. If I was talking about Universal Studios, they're just employees. Okay.
That's true.
Disneyland has cast members.
Absolutely. 100%. Although I did get to go to Epic Universe during my last trip to Florida.
I want to go very badly.
The amount of immersion in the dark universe section of the park.
I can't wait.
So
I'm like
good.
It like Mike's family lives in Florida, and just Florida in general is not typically somewhere I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to go to Florida. Yes,
nope.
So
Key West.
Key West. Typically finagle a Disney trip when we go. That's what I get out of it, and so we are planning on going. I want to wait until hurricane season, like because last time we went, it was during hurricane season. It was in August, and it was wretched. Just one of the worst theme park experiences of my whole life. And then the time before that, I got sun poisoning because it was like one of my first times in Florida. Barfing, I was so sick. And then the park Universal closes so early sometimes, so like I couldn't go back in, and it's the greatest tragedy of Mike's life that I have not been on the ET ride yet, so we have to go back.
Oh, you absolutely have to do that before they take it away.
And I was so sick. Spielberg has it in his contract that they cannot take it away, and although I could see them fucking shit up, you know, who knows, especially if Netflix tries to buy them, but because you know there's a monopoly on our hands.
Well, by the time this comes out, we'll all know how it happens. But
you will see, yes, in the space-time continuum right now, we don't know how this will shake out. And I never thought the Paramount would be our only hope, but here we are.
God, I mean,
if that means that I don't
Paramount
have to buy two streaming services to watch Star Trek, then I'll consider it a win.
Here's the thing, though, is we're basically just finding our way going back to cable. So you guys are just fixing a problem you yourselves made. And so, yeah, I would love for it all to be on one streaming service. That was just my cable subscription.
Yeah.
Tell you what, for $100, I'll just...
Yes. Just give me TV for $100.
It would be such a saving at this point.
Yes, it's ridiculous. And you know, you know what? I bet you Netflix exists in the Idiocracy world. There's no way. It owns everything. Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix are probably the top conglomerates over in this world if we're relating the two.
Ow My Balls, brought to you by Amazon.
Yes, exactly. That's
because they produce that Mr. Beast show, don't they?
Yeah, which just looks like Squid Game, and it looks then I read all of these people like contractually they got really hurt and he wasn't paying. It's a mess. But I'm also that's on you for signing up for a show with Mr. Beast too.
Mr. Beast is a bad person. Yeah,
he's a Mr. Bad. Yes.
Although if he does want to give me $10,000 for doing nothing, please.
But he's a Batman villain, guys. Come on. Just like everybody else right now. I swear. God. Some days I'm like, I feel like I'm reading a graphic novel every time I open my app. So, and a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like they're like the fun villains like Kite Man or Calendar Man.
Exactly. I know.
You know they're all.
Or who's the guy with the, it's because his name's probably just Polka Dot Man. But
Polka Dot Man.
The guy with the polka dots.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Polka Dot guy. I like him.
David Dastmalchian. Yeah.
Yes.
What a great dude.
Ooh,
I love that guy.
I love him.
Oh,
me too.
I would bet. Have you met David Dastmalchian?
I have. Yes.
I know you have.
I've seen him at many a place. He was literally at the. I'm pretty sure I saw him at the Silent Night.
I was going to say, based on your show, I would not be surprised if you have run into him a number of times.
I've definitely seen him at a lot of premieres. I'm not really the type of person that like sees a celebrity and feels like I get uncomfortable. I shake really bad. So if I look up to you in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna go up to you like oh my God, I love your work. Like it's really hard. So I try to tend to not have those. Like one time I ran into Catherine Newton in the bathroom and I was wearing a Bride of Frankenstein purse. And she was like, oh, I love your purse. And I was like, oh, I love you. And I was just like, oh, that was weird. Like, I'm sorry. And it was really odd. And then the one time at a con, I met Karen Gillan I'm in the picture, I'm bear hugging her and no one else did that. And you can see on her face of like, why is this bitch fucking touching me like this? And that's like every time like anyone sees that photo, they can like, and they know the story. They're like, oh, she looks like so uncomfortable. And I was just like, please give me a hug. So yeah, I avoid the celebrities at all costs if I can.
Aw, Karen.
Yeah, it's
She's so nice though. You know,
she was very nice.
Yeah.
And she let me do it, you know, but like after the fact, I look into her eyes and it's sheer terror. Like, this crazy girl, because I have this shit eating grin on my face. And it just, I get a little overexcited. So, I mean, it was, it was her. It was Nebula, like in the flesh. It was Amy Pond. Like, how do I not freak out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Trust me. I also adequately freaked out when I was seated next to her in our roundtable interviews. And I was just like, oh man.
Couldn't do it. I would be a puddle. So
it was
so
very
yes, to answer your
difficult.
question, have seen him, never talked to him. But we even covered Late Night with the Devil on Lady Killers and because I loved that movie. And so yeah, I really love his work. I really love Prisoners too, if you've ever seen that movie. He's really creepy in that too. And always plays creepy guy. That's kind of his MO. And I appreciate it because the world could use, a good character actor. We don't get them as much as we used to.
Nobody's hiring Crispin Glover for whatever reason.
And I think Willard is great. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Hot take, but I love Willard.
And honestly, without him, we wouldn't have some of the protections for actors that we have today. So I love Back to the Future, but the fact that all that stuff happened is kind of still really shitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So we should talk about the time travel mechanism of the movie. Because like you did allude to it, that it's not really like a real machine or anything. They just like put him under.
He hibernated.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's time travel at the end. I had forgotten.
It's a time machine. It's just a roller coaster. Isn't it?
But it's there. There's a time machine.
It's a time machine. Misspelled, but still, okay, I'll give it to you.
But yes, let's talk about being cryo-frozen for 500 years.
God, is that something that you would want?
No.
Like, I don't know if I'd want to live over 50 years into the future,
I have a hard time grasping my own time on Earth. So I don't think I could handle that. I also just the idea, like, I don't even like getting put under anesthetic. It's I don't like being put under. I don't like being in control. And who's to say that, like, they even were talking about it, it's like the shit that they're injecting them with, they don't know what it is. This is all like, it all feels very experimental. And it doesn't sound like what Walt Disney would have gotten had he been frozen, Maybe I might take that just because of the money, like, I know that's being invested in it. This, not so much. If the Army asked me to do it, it's going to be a no.
But like, because of Demolition Man, like knowing that John Spartan was awake in there and could see stuff
that's hellish.
While he was frozen. That's hellish. Exactly.
Yes.
Nightmare.
Are there any other points about Idiocracy that we have missed?
I will say, not to, like, I know we'll wrap up here because this is probably one of your longer episodes. We've been talking about Disney, so the one thing I do want to say
a lot
is
of that's
that
going to be an episode 4. Don't worry about
Mike
it.
Judge came up with the idea for the film while he was visiting Disneyland, actually. He was with his family and he saw two mothers with kids in strollers who were fighting and cursing at each other. And he thought, wouldn't it be horrible if humanity was like this in the future?
Oh my God.
And as someone who has been, is an annual pass holder, I go to Disneyland all of the time. As we've been talking about, the people watching is it's part of the entertainment. It's really quite literally part. If I could put that on my like little app of things to do, I could pencil in people watching amongst every ride. So I do think that's like, you see you see people borderline getting divorced on the line for Peter Pan's flight. You know what I mean? Like you'll see a lot of different walks of life there. So I think the perfect place for this movie to have been born is Disneyland.
That's so perfect. I love that so much. And in the end, we get this message that I feel like Judge is saying, like, it's hard for one person to save the world, but at least they can get the ball rolling. And I think that's really what we should take away from this, because like right now we're in this, we're in the thick of this shit, and like we have a little ways to go, but if we stop fighting, then no one's going to be able to keep the ball rolling. So the fact that we have people that are working towards not ending up in this future is a good start, because fuck ICE, fuck Donald Trump, and like fuck generative AI to begin with.
Absolutely. It's like Bruce Springsteen says, you can't start a fire without a spark. You know what I mean? Someone's got to do it.
Absolutely. Oh man, that was good. This was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So happy.
Yes. Hopefully you're not sick of us by now. But you can find us on the internet. I am at bsilverio20 on the platforms that I wish to be found on.
Give us a search. You'll find us.
Yeah.
And I am Sammie Roffman. Again, you can find me at SRK Doll. That's SRKDALL. At all of the things, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter. And you can find me over on The Lady Killers, a Feminine Rage podcast. We are the Lady K Pod on Instagram and Twitter as well, where we cover feminine rage flicks every week. And it's pretty fun over there on the Bloody Disgusting Podcast Network.
Go listen to their Anna and the Apocalypse episode.
I watched that movie twice in a 24-hour span. I loved it so much. I had never seen it, and I love that you just brought that up, because it has been one of my favorite movies we've watched as of late.
Hell yeah.
All right. That's an endorsement. And I am at The Indecisionist on all of the social media platforms I can be bothered to be on, which is mostly the Meta platforms and Blue Sky. And please check out the totally free online TTRPG convention that I run every single month. It is free. It is online. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pay anything. What else do I have to tell you? Chances are good that right about now is when signups are opening based on when this episode should be released. So head on over to ttrpgpickupcon.com.
If you're still on a social media platform that uses hashtags, you can join the conversation by using the hashtag time2party. That's time the number 2 party.
As well as time the number 2 party, all spelled out, thanks to Warwick. Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art, and to Marlon Longett of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song. This has been an Indecisionist production.
Yes, be sure to tune in next week as we bring to you some edutainment before saying goodbye to Idiocracy for the month. Time to Party, brought to you by Carl's Jr., except not really. I'm more of a Jack-in-the-Box guy, and I miss it every day because I love curly fries.
We won't endorse you, but we will take your money.
Absolutely. Anyway, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes!